Welcome to 4 Dimension Revit Architecture video series. In day 1 we are going to learn the commands like user interface, keyboard shortcuts, project files, unit setup, levels and then grids. Let's learn these things now. Once you install any version of the software, you can double click to open. So once you open, you can find the welcome screen like this. So in the welcome screen, we have so many options. At the left corner, we have the R letter that indicate Revit software. Just after that, you can find the quick access toolbar. Below the quick access toolbar, you will get the menu bar. So after that you will get the projects and then families. In the projects you can find the recent projects what you have done earlier. So families are nothing but components or you can say blocks. In AutoCAD we use blocks. Just like in 3D modeling, in order to complete the 3D modeling we use the families or components are nothing but you can find some by default components like door, window like this. So by using these families you can develop the 3D model. Next after that we have AutoCAD Revit 2018 version we are using now, and after that you will get the information toolbar. So if you are connected to Wi-Fi or internet you can get the help of the Autodesk videos and then you can update yourself. Then here we have a project option and then families I already told you. So if you want to open the new project, then we have to click on the new option. Then you will get the new project dialog box like this. So that is nothing but template file. Before going to start any project, we have to select the particular template. As the Revit is single software, but where we can do a 3 modes of the projects like architecture mode, structure mode and MEP mode. But first you have to learn the architectural mode. That is the basic things we should know in order to operate the Revit. So architecture is nothing but you can create the architectural models from the ground level to the any other levels. You can decorate your model. So structural template is nothing but you can do your structural frame like column, beams and then slab model. So mechanical template, by using this we can create the MEP connections to the model. But now we want to start the architectural template. For that, so make sure you are selecting the architectural template. If you don't find these templates, then you can go to the browse option and then select the default metric template or architectural template and then hit on OK. So when you say OK, it will take some time to open that particular template. So because the template is in 2009 version and now we are using it in a 18 version, so it takes some time to open it. So once you open, you can find the user interface, that is user interface of the Revit software, UI you can say. At the left corner we have the R symbol that indicates Revit. Just below that you have a file, that is your new application toolbar. Click on this file option to expand it. So here we have a new open, save as, export and other options. So as I already told you how to select the new template. So you can go to the new and then we are going to create the new project. So that's why we have to click on the project. So if you are going to create the new family or component, you can go and then click on the family option. So now I click on the project option. So already I told you what is the reason behind the selecting the architectural template. So now I already opened it. I hit on close. So next option, if you want to open and continue the older project, then you can open it and click on the project. Go to the particular location where you have saved and then open it. So once you done your work, if you want to save, then you can click on the save as option. So if you want to save, then you can save as project option and then go to the particular location, create your own folder and then you can say that is your Revit projects. So like this way you can create any name. The file name you can give whatever you want. The next is file type. So here we have the only one type file, that is .rvt, that is nothing but Revit project template, and then you click on save option and hit on close. So next option is export. So day by day we use these options later on. So here we have a quick access toolbar. In order to customize the quick access toolbar, you click on the arrow mark and then you can click on the new option, open, save. Whatever the content you want to keep, then you can click on. Then next, after that, here we have a menu bar, that is architecture, structure, systems, insert and other options. As I already told you, in a single software we can do 3 modes of projects, that is architecture mode, structure mode and then MEP mode. So now we are doing the project in architectural mode, so that's why you should click on the architectural mode. So next we have the insert option. In order to insert any Revit file, then we use the link Revit option. In order to import any higher version of the Revit, then we use IFC file format. Then in order to link CAD file, in order to import the CAD, what is the difference between these things we can learn in the next future sessions. Next, annotate is nothing but, as I already learned in the AutoCAD sessions, in order to complete the model with detailing, we use this annotate toolbar to give the dimensions and detailings. Next, analyze. In order to do the analysis, we use this tab option. Next, massing and site means once you done your model, if you want to create the site development, what is there around the site, then we use this massing and site option. Even you can collaborate your Revit model into the other softwares. Next, whatever the things we have on the screen option, in order to show it and off it, we use this view tab option and so on. In the modify options, we have the modify commands like copy, move, rotate, etc. The next, just below the menu bar, you can find the working area. So working area is not consisting of any grids. So it is just a simple page we have, but with 4 bubbles, or you can say cameras. The next, at the left corner you find the properties, and at the right corner you can find the project browser. Properties are nothing but in order to get the detailing of your selected part, so we use this property option. So project browser is nothing but it's a browser, or it's a dialog box where you can find the detailing, like in which level you are working. Are you working in the floor plan levels? Are you working in the ceiling plan levels? Or you want to see your elevations? Or you want to create some scheduled and quantities like that. So if you don't find this property and then project browser, then you go with the view file option and then click on the user interface and make sure your project browser and then property option is on. Or else simply you just right click your mouse and click on the project browser option and then property. Make sure your project browser and then property are on like this. Below the drawing space, you can find the status bar. So the first fundamental step is to set the unit. Before going to start any project, you want to set the unit. That is whether you are going to do your project model in meter or millimeter or feet and inch. Let's start now. For that, I just type UN. So here you find by default unit as mm. Depending on the requirement, you click on the length option and you can keep the whatever the option you want. So keep your rounding into 2 or 3 decimals. For meter, M is the symbol and hit an OK. So when you draw or when you do model in meter, so then if you want to find out the area, then you can just confirm whether the area unit is meter square or not. So then click on OK option. One more option to set the unit is you can click on the manage option in the menu bar and then click on the project unit. So do the same thing whatever we done earlier. Once you set the unit, the next basic step is to set the levels. Depending on the requirement, we have to set the levels. In Revit, by default, we have 2 levels, that is level 1 and level 2. Before that, let's understand what is mean by level. So as shown in the figure, so I am showing you the levels, that is ground level and plinth level. So whenever we want to do a bungalow, so we have to create 3 levels, that is ground level, plinth level and then roof or slab level. Even you can add the extra levels if you want. The next, while doing apartment, so you can create the number of levels like ground level or underground level, first floor, second floor, third floor. So if you want to construct 10 plus stories, means you have to create the 10 levels like that. So in order to set the levels, so make sure you are in the elevation view. These elevations are nothing but, so these are the bubbles you can find in the drawing area. So this is your north elevation, then east elevation, at down you find south elevation, and then at the left you find the west elevation. The same thing you have here, east, north, south and west. So if I delete any one of the bubble, then we'll get the notification like this that would you like to delete the north elevation? Yes, okay. Then you can't find the north elevation. Just do Ctrl Z to make it undo. So make sure you are in the elevation to create the new levels or to customize the levels. By default in the Revit we have two levels, that is level 1 and level 2. These options you can find in the project browser. So the next one is, maybe sometime you find the options like this. These floor plan, ceiling plan, elevation plans are not expanded. In order to expand, just click on the plus sign to get it more options like this. Level 1 and level 2. Ceiling plans, level 1 and level 2. And then elevations, we have the 4 elevations. So you can double click to add one more level first. So double click on any elevation, then you find the level 1 and level 2. That is your level 1 and level 2 in the floor plans. So first you find level 1, that is at 0 distance, and then level 2 is at 4 meter. So we have to customize it according to our requirement. So if I am going to assume this as my ground level, then I keep the distance as 0 itself. Then next I want to customize this level 2 as the plinth level. So what is mean by plinth level? What is the standard height we have to give? Means, so the plinth height is differs from on the topography or ground level, and then soil factors and so on. Depending on the site conditions, we are going to consider the plinth height. So that is minimum plinth is 0.3, 0.45 meter, 0.6 meter, 0.75 meter, 0.9 meter, 1 meter. Depending on the site and topography, we are going to consider the plinth height. So now this height is 4 meter, means I am going to customize it. Double click on the distance option and then make it 0.45 and hit on enter. So next one is, I have to create one more level to add a slab level. To add the slab level, make sure you are in the elevation. We are already in the elevation views, and then you click on the level option which is there in the datum panel. Then next here we have the line option, and the next option is pick line option. Line is nothing but you have to check the distance and then you have to draw it manually. Rather than doing like this, you just go with the pick line option, because already we have by default 2 levels. I want to give offset and then add the one more level. From level 2 is nothing but plinth level 2 first floor is 3 meter, that is your 10 feet from the floor to floor distance. You can give the offset distance that is 3 meter, and then make sure you are adding the level just above the level 2. So while adding the levels, make sure guys you are just moving your cursor down or up, and then depending on the requirement I am going to add the level just above the level 2. So once you add the required level, first you have to come out from the running command, right click cancel, right click cancel. Then next here you will get the level 3, level 2 and level 1. So these level 1s and level 2 are merging each other. In order to separate these two levels, just click on any one level, and then here you will get a add elbow, that is Z symbol. Expand that option, and then you will get the 2 control points to control it. So you pick this and drag it like this, and then same thing for the level 2. I am clicking on it level 2 and click on the add elbow symbol and then drag the second point. So like this way you can separate the level 1, level 2. So this is the level 3. that is 0 distance, 0.45 distance and 3.45 distance. Even rather than keeping the levels as level 1, level 2, level 3, you can rename it also. For that I am going to double click on the level 1 and then I am going to type, that is GL. Make sure your caps lock is on, GL, and click outside. It is asking that would you like to rename the corresponding views? Yes. Next, level 2, that is your PL. Click outside. Yes. Level 3, that is your first floor or slab level. Click outside and yes. So like this way you can rename, guys. So here we have a ground level, plinth level and first floor. So as by default we have 2 levels, but we now customized it. That is floor level, ground level and plinth level. But in order to keep these 3 layers in the same sequence, that I want first as a ground, second as a plinth and third as a first floor, I just want to rename it again. Clicking on the ground, GL, and I am adding the numerical value to get in the same sequence, that is 00GL. Click outside and yes. PL should be next to the ground level, means that will be 01 plinth level, and FL just after the plinth level I should get this. For that I am going to add 02 and first floor or slab level. So like this way, depending on the requirement, you have to add the levels. Even you can go with a short key, that is LL, to add the levels. When you type LL, you will get the level draw option. You will go to the pick line option, give the particular offset and then go on adding. So if you are going to do the apartment 10 plus stories, 15 stories, then you just add the 3 meter or 4 meter, whatever the floor to floor distance, and then just add it like this. And come out from the running command by pressing right click, cancel. Now I am doing it Ctrl Z. Depending on the requirement, you customize it. Now again I want to start my building from the plinth level. So I am double clicking on the plinth level. Before going to start any project, make sure you are having these bubbles in each levels or not. You go to the ground level and confirm the bubbles. Plinth level, confirm the bubbles. First floor and confirm the bubbles. If sometime you don't find the bubbles, then just right click and make it zoom to fit. Make it zoom to fit, because so maybe these cameras zoom in like this. Just right click and say zoom to fit, then only you will get the bubbles in each levels. So that is for ground level, plinth level and first floor. So now I have to double click on the plinth level to start the new project. In order to set the unit, that is UN, enter is the short key, and then in order to add the levels, that is LL is the short key for the levels. But make sure while adding the levels you should be in the elevation and then you type the LL to get the level datum panel. Next one is grid. Grid lines will help organize the project horizontally. Grids consisting of a series of lines along with bubbles which contain the grid name. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 along the X direction and ABCD along the Y direction. You can create grids in any two-dimensional view such as a floor plan view, or else you can add these grid lines in the elevation. In order to do the same thing, so how to first add the grid lines in the Revit. So in order to get the grid option, go to the datum panel and click on the grid option, or else you go with the short key, that is GR. So here you get a line option, and then depending on the shape of the reference line, even you can go with the arc shape, or else you pick line option. First I have to draw one initial X line and Y line. I take with the line option, and then randomly you just add a vertical grid line and then horizontal grid line. So once you get a center line diagram, so you can get the idea at what distance you want to add the grid lines. So I just added one X reference line and then Y directional line. So go to the pick line option and give the offset. Depending on the requirement, you give the distance like 3, 4, 5, whatever it may be. So pick the vertical lines to get it in a vertical way. So pick the horizontal reference line to get it in a horizontal direction. So like this way you can add the grid lines. So automatically you will get the namings, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 for the vertical grid lines, and then 12, 11, 9, 10, 8 for the horizontal grid lines. If you want to customize the naming of this, then you can just double click on the option, and then here we have a properties option at the left corner. The name is 12. You can add the name, that is your A option, and click outside. So click it here and then make it, that is your B. Click here and then make it, that is your C. This will be your D, and this will be your E. So like this way, depending on the requirement, you can give the different namings for your vertical grid lines and then horizontal grid lines. In the next video series, we learn the other commands. Thank you.